Soohee Mehla panjavaa जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी सुदुख कैसा पावे जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी सुदुख कैसा पावे. This is a very beautiful Shabad by Guru Arjan Dev Ji in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj. It's in page 749, Anga 749. It's Raag Soohee in the way I've just chanted to you. Jiske sir upar tu swami. It's a song that we sing to God. In Sri Guru Granth Sahib, there are so many beautiful Shabads that Guruji teaches us through Guru Granth Sahib, through Gurbani, how to sing to God, what to sing to God, what to tell to God, so that God will listen and come in our life and bless us. There are three things that are very, very important when in a Shabad, for example, where we are talking to God. Number one is to be able to somehow make an effort to understand every word that we are saying to God. So you're not just reciting things and being happy that we are reading something holy, but actually we know what it means. We know what we are saying to God. And number two, to say it from the heart, to mean it from your heart, every sentence, every word, to mean it. You have to mean what you are saying. Like when you speak to each other, when you speak to another human being, you mean your words. You make your sentence, you construct a sentence, and then you know what the sentence means and you mean every word you say. And someone cannot say to you, you do not really mean what you say. And the third thing is to say it with love. To say it with love. Because if you say something to someone, another human being, for example, without any love, it comes across as a very unloving thing. It doesn't sometimes, it will go unheard. If you ask someone something and there's no love in what you ask, you may not even get it. So these three things are important: to know what you are asking God, what you are telling God, to say it with love, and also to mean every word you say. So with that, I will start this beautiful Shabad. It's Jiske sir upar tu swami, so dhukh kaisaa paavai. You might have heard this Shabad so many times in your life in the Gurdwara or been sung by a very, very talented musician. But what does it mean? This is actually a very beautiful Shabad through which you are actually communicating with God. You're telling God something very, very beautiful. And if you only can somehow mean exactly what the Shabad is saying, you would find the door of heaven opening into your life and blessing you in a very mighty and powerful way. So the Shabad just doesn't remain a Shabad, something you sung, you heard, and then you forgot, then you heard it again, but a Shabad that is like a key that has opened the door of heaven for you. And as you have opened the door of heaven, the blessings of heaven have all come your way like a mighty shower. God has showered His blessings. So what are you telling God in this Shabad? He says, Jiske sir upar tu swami. He says, oh my Guru, oh my Swami, oh my Lord, upon whose head you are. Jiske sir, in Punjabi, what it means is, when we say someone is above your head, it means someone who looks after you. Jiske sir, sir means the head. On whose head you are. It doesn't mean God is standing on your head. It means, what it literally means is, when in Punjabi cultural, in our language, in our literal language, it means when God is standing over you, looking after you. He is like higher than you and looking down and looking upon you. For God to look upon us, Jiske sir upar tu swami. Oh God, that one human being, where you start looking upon that human being, looking at that human being, and not only just looking, but also now you are now taking care of that human being. So dhukh kaisaa paavai. Such a human being, when you are looking after, on whose head you are, whom you are taking into your protection, oh God, how can such a person suffer pain? Now, this doesn't mean that there won't be problems in life, there won't be pain in life, but it means that there is this miracle God can do, that in the middle of your pain and problems, you will somehow feel as if you are not in pain, you are not in a problem, even though you're in one. Why? Because there's someone there helping you in it, someone holding your hand. You're not alone, suffering on your own, but there's someone sharing the suffering with you. Someone there, which is God, who is helping to alleviate the suffering, take it away from you, to bear it on your behalf. You can just feel that, you will feel it. It is a feeling that you will really get in your life if you get this close to God, whereby in the middle of all your problems, you will feel as if you do not have a problem. Because why? God, through His magic, through His love, is there in the middle of your problems, holding you. He's looking over you. He's not abandoning you. You're not like someone who's wandering around. No, you have a master, and He's looking over you. He's taking care of you. It's a very beautiful Shabad. You're singing this to God. जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी. You have to sing this with love. So dhukh kaisaa paavai, bol na jaanai maiaa madh maataa. He says, on the other hand, there's other people who are not turning towards God, they have moved away from God. They're looking the other way. Maiaa madh maataa. Maya, in this worldliness, all the pleasures of the world. The Mata here doesn't mean mother, it means intoxication. Madh maataa. In the middle of all of this worldliness, you're completely intoxicated in this worldliness. You're so, in a way, you can say, someone can get very obsessed with having cars, houses, land, property, gardens, family. They can get so intoxicated, so involved in all of this, that suddenly they've forgotten who their creator is, who their maker is, who their God is. And now they don't have a word to say about God. Bol na jaane, maiaa madh maataa. They have nothing to say. Maranaa, cheet na aavai. Maranaa, their death. They're not remembering that one day they're going to die, leave everything behind, and then they're not remembering that. They'll have to go to God and talk to God and answer to God. They're not remembering that. So there are two types of human beings. One are those who have surrendered to God. Jiske sir upar tu suaamee. They have asked God to look over them, to protect them, have His hand over their life. The other one is, oh God, those who have so intoxicated in worldliness that they not have a word to say about God anymore. It's hard to think for them to think about God or to talk about God. Just as the Shabad progresses, next line, mere raam rai, tu santa ka sant tere. Oh, mere Ram Rai. Rai means the king. God, my king, tu santa ka. You are the ones, sant are those who love God. Simple as that. Someone who really, really loves God, truly loves God. Through God's grace, that person loves God. He's become a saint in God's eyes. Tu santa ka sant tere. Those God who love you, they are yours, you are theirs. They belong to you, you belong to them. Yeah? So tu santa ka sant tere. God belongs to everyone, but then those who really, really love God, they are the ones, they have a sense of, they feel that as if God is theirs. But of course God is everybody's. And they love God. There's a relationship that's mentioned here. Tu santa ka sant tere. A relationship where, like when two people love each other, they belong to each other. Like that, when you love God, you are God's and God is yours. Simple as that. But very, very beautiful. So you're just singing this very beautiful Shabad to God, where you're saying, oh God, oh my God, let me be among those, mere Ram, jiske sir upar tu suaamee. Make me one of those upon whose head is God's hand. Yeah? Tere sevak ko kichh nahee. Your sevak, the one who worships you and serves you, who sees himself on earth as someone who is here on earth doing God's bidding. He's here for a purpose God prepared him for. prepared that human being for him or her. God prepared that human being for a purpose, and that purpose is been fulfilled in their life. Tere sevak. Sevak is someone who, through their life, they are serving God. The way God wanted them to serve Him while they are living here. So they're not ending up just serving their close ones and their family and their own needs and their interests, but then now they're serving God. They're remembering that their purpose on earth is not just to get entangled in family matters and all that, but there is a purpose for which they were born, and that through that purpose they will be serving their God. Tere sevak kichh, nahee. Such people who suddenly realize that their life on earth, God put them there for a purpose to serve Him, they got nothing to fear. Po means fear. They got nothing to fear. Why? Because they belong to God, they love God, they are protected by God, God is looking after them. Jam nahi aavai nere. Jam can mean the messenger of death, the evil one, something evil, something that brings death, something that brings destruction. All of that cannot come near a person who is looking towards God, who has been held by God, on whose hand is God, who is protected by God, who loves God, who is one with God. Such a person has got nothing to fear. Why? Because he is looked after by the Lord of the universe. The God and the Lord of the universe is His. And God is His and His is God. God is protecting such a person. He doesn't fear anything in the world because his master is the most powerful thing out there, which is God. Jo tere rang rate suaamee, tinka janam maran dhukh naasa. Jo tere rang. Rang here means love. Rang in Punjabi can mean color, but in Guru Granth Sahib, rang can mean love as well. So rate means to be absorbed, to be completely attuned, to be completely, embraced by love. Those who love you, God, tinka janam maran dhukh naasa. They are, this constant wandering about born, die is gone. Why? Because now they have, in this one human life, they love God. When life's journey is finished, God isn't sending them back here again anymore, because He only sent them here to meet Him. Now they've met Him, now they love Him, they've fallen in love now. God says, now you stay with me in heaven. Teri bakshana mete koi Satguru ka dilasa. It's a very beautiful meaning here. Dilasa means an assurance, a guarantee, a promise. Teri bakshana mete koi. Oh God, your blessings, the blessings of God that you give me, no one has the power to take them away from me. This is actually Guruji himself says, Satguru ka dilasa. Guruji, the Satguru, the true Guru, gives this promise that God is so powerful that if your blessings are not just churned, whatever you have is not just the result of your little efforts, but actually whatever is in your life is a blessing from God. Through your love of God, whatever God blessed you with, no one can take that away. Naam tyayan sukh phal payan. By worshipping the name of God, Vaheguru, 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 sukh phal payan. The fruit of this, worshipping God's name, is what sukh. Sukh, the peace, the joy of life. In life, you can experience peace, a magical peace, a magical joy that is far beyond the peace and joy you get from getting worldly possessions. This very magical, out of the world kind of happiness and joy and peace will belong to those who have made an effort to repeat God's name, to worship God in their hearts. Aat per arade, aat per. Aat means 8. Per, like, it means that every 3 hours, 8 times 3 is 24. So it means, this is a way of calculating time in those good old days. It says those who worshiping God all the time in the day and night, their mind is towards God. How? The way a plant is facing the sun and getting its sunlight. So your mind is towards God, you are worshipping God, you are serving God, you are loving God. He says you will receive in return, like the sunshine, such peace and happiness that this is the fruit of you turning towards God. Teri saran tere pravasai. Panch dushtale sade. He says, Guruji, he says, God, teri saran. Saran means shelter, to come into the presence of God. Come to surrender to God. As we surrender and come to the shelter of God, the 5 sins, this obsession with lust, to get angry, anger problems, attachment problems, greed problems, all of these will be taken care of by God. We have come to God's presence. He will cleanse our soul. He will, like a fire that burns through and takes away all our weaknesses and gives us power instead of all these things that drain our power. Gyan dhyan kichh karam na jana, saar na jana tere. He says, Guru. Finally, in a very humble way, we pray, Guruji, I am not someone who comes boasting to you, O God, that I've got gyan, I've got knowledge. Dhyan, I'm someone who can meditate. Kichh karam na jana, oh, I've got very good deeds. Saar na jana teri. Neither, O God, do I know of all your saar na jana teri. I do not know all your excellences, all your greatnesses. So it's a humble humility. When you come to God, you do not come to God and say, oh God, yes, I'm someone who's coming to you with knowledge. I'm a man of meditation. I get up and pray at such a time. I do all these good things. I do all this seva. I do this and I do that. The I-ness has to go. Instead, no matter how spiritual you are, no matter how much of a gursek you are, how much of a chardi kala gursek you are, your attitude within yourself must be one of a very humble person. Very, very humble. Always tell God, no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you understand Gurbani, no matter what great singer you are, no matter how many rags that you know, no matter what kind of gursek you are, no matter how many people praise you for being a chardi kala gursek, when you come in the presence of God, you have to surrender yourself and tell God, God, I don't have any knowledge. I don't have no meditation. I have no good deeds. I don't even know about your greatness. That is how we have to come to God very always. God never likes us coming to Him with pride in our hearts. Oh, I'm a Chardikala Gursek. Oh, I'm a Chardikala this. I'm a blessed Sikh. I know everything. I'm a great singer. No, God likes those who come to Him like children. Little children, little babies, coming to the Father, coming to Guru Gobind Singh, the great Father. Just come as a child, little child. God, I have known none of these things. I do not even know your greatness. Bless me. Sab te vadda Satguru Nanak, jinkal rakhi meri. Greatest of all is Satguru Nanak, who will look after me. Jin kal means kaljug. Rakhi me in Kaljug, in these terrible dark times when there's evil in the world, evil everywhere, as you can see. In these terrible times that we live in, there's so much that bad that happens around, and this time Guru Nanak will look after us. So it's a very beautiful Shabad in summary, where we are singing to God, we're telling God, jiske sir upar tu suaamee, so dhukh kaisaa paavai. Make me one of those upon whom is your hand, upon whose life you are God. You are looking upon me. That's what this whole Shabad is about. Coming to God, surrendering to God. Tere saran, oh, I come into your shelter, O God. May I be one of those upon whom you look forward. You look upon me and bless me. Make me one of those beautiful ones. In this Shabad, there's a nice explanation going on at the same time, how you can, to make you aware the kind of person you have to be in God's presence, not someone who is intoxicated in maiaa and all these things, rather someone who is very humble in the presence of God. How someone turning towards God, someone surrendering to God, someone asking God to bless him. Such a beautiful Shabad. Jiske tere uoopar tu suaamee, so dhukh kaisaa paavai. And if we can become that kind of person, where in our life God's hand is upon us, God is upon our life, God's presence is upon us, there is this relationship going on, there is this protection going on, then you got nothing to fear in this world. What a beautiful Shabad to sing to God, by asking Him to protect us and have Him over our life. So we're not wandering around on our own, in our own little ego. Rather than that, we are surrounded, we are sheltered in God's presence like a baby in the arms of its mother. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.